You've probably heard the shocking story about hundreds of times by now. It was considered the horrific, deadliest mass shooting in American history that happened in Las Vegas, Nevada. Close to about 60 people are dead, 59 to be specific exactly, and over 500 individuals injured on the night of October 1st. And the perpetrator is one of those people who is also killed as well. His name is Stephen Paddock.
Right.
And like, when you heard about this, it's like, how did you feel? What did you think about this?
The first thing I thought was again, you know, like in the sense like the shooting in Sandy Hook with the kids. I was like,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I remember watching TV and I'm like, okay, let's see, like, they're gonna keep us updated. Let's see how many people are gonna be injured. Let's see how many people are gonna die, you know? Like, that's the first thing I think of. And I'm like, oh my God, what about their families? That's devastating.
Yeah, it's really devastating because when I saw this first, it was like, I couldn't believe my eyes. It was like so horrific, I tell you. And I couldn't even imagine, like what kind of person here, when the Washington Post article posted something where he brought into the hotel 23 guns. Like, really? What kind of person would bring in 23 guns, like, to the hotel and then start shooting people all at once and killing families and children? All that is so devastating. I don't know how to put this. It's like, ugh.
I was on the occasion, my whole thing was, okay, people just going to a concert to have fun, you know, vibe out, listen to good music, enjoy themselves, and then you can't even enjoy yourself at a concert.
So sad, I tell you. It's like,
This is why people ask for more gun laws, gun control.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. And speaking of the gun laws, is because I remember hearing something where about 89% of Democrats and 89% of Republicans were all like in favor of like trying to maintain the gun control and for the Senate. But then, you know, it's hard to imagine how this could be. You know, I don't know how to put this, but it's like,
It's truly devastating, David.
I know it's like basically a little fact here is like the attack at least initially was inexplicable and was horrifying. Law enforcement officials say that it could not immediately tell what drove Stephen Paddock to fire thousands of unexpected concert goers from the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino before killing himself. It's like,
Right.
I don't know.
His brother also spoke out, actually. He did a small interview, and he said prior to this, nothing. He wouldn't have imagined that his brother would have even done something like this. There was mentally nothing like wrong with him. So it was like, okay, yes, their father actually was on the FBI's most wanted list too. So as they were interviewing his brother was speaking about him and was like, okay, well, he had no reason to do any of this. There was nothing mentally wrong with him. So it's like, how did he break out and just say, you know what, I'm shooting all these people today?
Yes, and it's
What led him
tonight.
to that?
Yeah, yeah. What led them to that? And I still trying to understand what led him to carry so many luggages that carries almost about 23 guns. It's like, I don't know how to put this. It's like, I cannot be the person to watch and see someone bring into the casino or hotel that many guns. Like that's not right. Like, come on. This is like, you know, and you know, not only that, Jimmy Kimmel was on this. He's also a native of Las Vegas, and this is what he had to say on his late night talk show about all this with Las Vegas. Take a look.
I've been reading comments from people saying this is terrible, but there's nothing we can do about it. But I disagree with that intensely, because of course there's something we can do about it. There are a lot of things we can do about it, but we don't, which is interesting, because when someone with a Beard attacks us, we tap phones, we invoke travel bans, we build walls, we take every possible precaution to make sure it doesn't happen again. But when an American buys a gun and kills other Americans, then there's nothing we can do about that. Right now, there are loopholes in the law that let people avoid background checks if they buy a gun privately from another party, if they buy a gun online or at a gun show. So I want to show you something. These are the faces of the senators who, days after the shooting in Orlando, voted against a bill that would have closed those loopholes. These are the 56 senators who didn't want to do anything about that. Now, 90% of Democrats, I'm not talking about politicians here, I'm talking about people, and 77% of Republicans support background checks at gun shows. 89% of Republicans and Democrats are in favor of restricting gun ownership for the mentally ill. But not this gang. They voted against both of those things. So with all due respect, your thoughts and your prayers are insufficient.
If you just saw closely, Jimmy Kimmel was kind enough to post a photo of those 56 senators who basically who won't do anything about in terms of gun control and the gun violence. And when there has to be something done. It's like when I look at this, it's like they're not for us. They're just for the money. It's like, what do you think about it?
I think money is the root of all evil.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I absolutely agree with Jimmy Kimmel. The majority of Democrats, the majority of even Republicans have wanted to have strict gun laws,
Mm-hmm.
And for these 56 people to say, nah, it was fine the way it is. Oh, don't worry about it. Like, everybody who wants to purchase a gun legally should get a background check and should do things the right way to purchase that gun.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, then we're just gonna have more of these incidents happening. We're gonna have more issues with guns. Anybody's gonna be able to get a gun now. Like, I just feel like there should be stricter laws on it.
Big time. And because they posted a CBS News poll out restricting gun laws. I think you have that here.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, just tell us more about it. The poll that was done from CBS News in terms of the gun control and all the laws here.
There should be. What do you mean?
No, I
just messed up.
No.
Messed up the shot.
Let me just show
gotta edit
you.
this out.
Remember, this is the part here where they had the poll basically, and they showed of how many of the people from the Republican side, the Democrats, and the Independents who think about gun laws. Should they be strict, less strict, or should they stay the same, basically? And so there was.
In case you guys want to see that.
Yeah. We'll definitely.
We'll make it bigger for you guys.
Yeah, we'll definitely post that up for you on our screen in just a moment or so. But that's basically what you see there in terms of the poll wise of like, we have to find a way to make those gun laws more stricter than ever, so that way you make America feel safe. And another thing I should mention though, that if we could get the photos up with the 56 senators that Jimmy was kind enough to show, we want to show those people and inform them that if they're the ones that are not for America, yeah, there they are. There it is. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
If they are the ones that are not for America and they don't want to do anything about this law or with the gun controls and all that, they're just after the money. Those are not the people you want in the office.
Absolutely.
All right? Yes. All right? We got to get them out of here, because in the meantime, if you still want them in our office, you're not going to make America feel safe at all here.
Right.
And if you want to add on to what I said, feel free.
I completely agree with you. It's true. If they're not going to help us, then we don't, as Americans, we can find somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Or people that's going to work with Americans that want to have stricter gun laws.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Big time.
We
yeah.
all have a voice. We all need to speak up.
Yes, we all need to speak up and get those 56 senators who are against the gun control, get them out of office. Take them out.
Okay.
They're not for us here. And